Hello viewers, welcome to the Editorial Analysis by Drishti IAS. In this section, we regularly take editorials from various newspapers and news portals for a better understanding of various issues happening in India and around the globe. Dear viewers, in this section, we first try to link the editorial with our UPSC syllabus, then we go analytical in order to understand some key points and at last some important concepts. Dear viewers, we truly hope that you like this initiative taken by Drishti IAS and your feedbacks are important for us. So kindly feel free to give your important feedbacks in the comment section. So without any further delay, let's commence our session.
Dear viewer, this video is available in Hindi as well. If you wish to watch it, please visit our Hindi YouTube channel, Drishti IAS. For your convenience, the link for this video in Hindi has been provided in the description below.
Today's editorial is taken from the Hindu published on 10th of March 2021. The title of today's editorial is Fire Wise. If we try to summarize today's editorial, we can say that safety training and technological fixes can cut the massive death toll from fire each year. Some key points from today's editorial. Nearly all major Indian cities have a brush with destructive but often preventable accidents fire each year, leaving in their wake lost lives and destroyed property. Now viewers, when we talk about fire, at least you can say that all major Indian cities have some time or other kind of brush with very destructive fire cases. Whether we talk about the fire incident that took place in a hotel in Mumbai in 2017, or we talk about the fire accident that took place at a coaching institute in Ahmedabad in 2018, or if we talk about the recent accident that took place in Kolkata. Almost each and every major Indian city has some time or the other brush with a tremendous fire which has actually costed lots and lots of damage of property as well as life. However, one thing that can be said very clearly about these fires accidents is that all these fire accidents were actually preventable. The blaze in the Eastern Railway headquarters in Kolkata on the evening of March 8, which killed at least 9 people, is particularly egregious because it took place in a modern multi-storied special building. Now, we are talking here about the recent accident that took place in the Eastern Railway's headquarters in Kolkata, which is said to be a state-of-the-art modern multi-storied building. What the preliminary account of the fire and its aftermath suggest is a textbook case of poor attention to fire safety basics and probably the absence of robust fire mitigation techniques. Now, according to the preliminary investigation, it has been found that this fire was actually the result of not following the basics of fire safety. Also, it has been said that there was absence of immediate fire mitigation techniques, which has actually costed such a loss of both life and money. Whatever the sequence or events, the fortunate incident in the central part of a vibrant city has taken the lives of a group of first responders, including 4 firefighters, a police officer, and some railway staff. Now, whatever we speak now, but one thing that is for sure, that such an unfortunate accident has taken place which actually killed 4 brave firefighters, a police officer, and 4 railway staff. Apparently anxious to intervene, a group of personnel post sight of their own safety and tried to speed up to the top floor of the building in a lift, perishing in fire and smoke. However, it is also seen that there were some people who actually tried to escape the fire and they tried to reach to the top of the building. But the biggest thing which they forgot was they used a lift, whereas it is mentioned almost everywhere, in fact inside the lifts, that do not use a lift in case of fire. They did the mistake and they perished in fire and smoke, and they lost their lives ultimately. The computerized booking system of the railway was paralyzed. Now, what was the impact of the fire? The impact was such that the computerized railway booking system of the railway or the Eastern Railways was paralyzed completely. It has been a difficult start to the new year for Kolkata, with an inferno in the Bagh Bazaar area destroying a vast slum, triggering violent protest. Now, when we speak about Calcutta this year, in the beginning of this year, we saw a fire accident taking place in the Bagh Bazaar region, which actually destroyed a complete area of a slum, due to which there were violent protests against the government. Also, in the recent past, there have been many such accidents of fire in Kolkata, but government and the people, they have failed to learn, they have failed to take any proper initiative against such issues. A return to normality will obviously take a lot of remedial work, although prioritizing fire safety will have to wait for the frantic election campaign there to end. It's quite obvious that returning to normality will be a tedious task. It's going to be a very Herculean task because there is a lot of remedial work which is required to be done. However, when we speak about following the fire safety measures, it seems like until unless the elections are over, no attention, no focus will be given towards that direction, which itself shows what a sorry state we are in when it comes to fire safety measures. The priority of life, the priority of human life is considered way above conducting the elections, because right now everybody will be engaged in elections and no such initiatives can be taken as of now. The present scenario, every instance of fire brings to the fore the problem of adopting an incremental approach to safety. The building blocks or safety rely as much on modern technologies as on preparedness, although Indian cities give short shift to both. Now, in the past, there have been many lessons which are required to be learned. Whether we speak about the safety of people and of the property, it is quite important that now it is high time we have to rely upon the modern technologies. Whereas if we talk about the Indian cities, they have learned nothing from the previous experiences. Official certifications that are not worth the paper they are printed on substitute for actual enforcement. Now, also, one authority that is required to be blamed here is the officials who are providing certifications. How come you can provide such certifications if you are seeing that the required amount of initiatives has not been taken? What exactly is the point of issuing such certifications then? Using the Kolkata railway building as a test case, the centre should report on whether it met the fire safety norms prescribed in the national building codes or not. Now, the first thing that is required to be followed by the investigative agencies is that we have to see that whether the Kolkata railway building where this unfortunate accident took place, that whether it followed the safety norms, the prescribed safety norms in the national building codes, or did it just manage to place a fire extinguisher in a building like what we generally see. You must have seen in many buildings that there is one fire extinguisher, there is no work that has been done, the extinguisher has not been changed over the years, whereas it has been said that a fire extinguisher is required, it is required to be changed every year. For instance, smoke alarm and sprinkler systems are an inexpensive early warning and intervention measures but are not universally adopted. How many offices, how many buildings have you seen where smoke alarms or sprinkler systems are being applied? Very few, very less. It itself shows that what kind of sorry state we are in right now. How serious are we taking to such issues such as fire, accident and all. The recent tragedy also presents an occasion to review the progress of the Model Bill of 2019 to provide for the maintenance of fire and emergency services of a state, which aimed at modernization. Considering the death toll from accidental fires as per the National Crime Record Bureau data for 2019 stands at a staggering 10,915. There is every reason to make a fire safety upgrade for public buildings a mission mode plan. Now, also, many people are now saying that we have to actually see what exactly is the progress of the Model Bill of 2019 that has actually been provided for maintenance of fire and emergency services in a state. And ultimately, when what we talk about is how or what kind of modern technology are we following if it comes to such situations. Now, according to the NCRB data for 2019, the total number of people who have lost their life because of fire accidents stands at a staggering 10,915 people, which definitely gives us every possible reason to work towards this direction for upgrading our fire safety measure in every public building. The way forward, bringing such structures under the purview or public liability insurance paid for by the respective departments will provide enough incentive for their occupants to incorporate safety in all planning and involve third party audits. Now, such structures are required to be put under public liability insurance. It definitely will give a tremendous amount of confidence. Also, it is to be ensured that whatever buildings are now being constructed, they are incorporating safety as a primary measure in it. Equally, drills for offices and multi-story residential buildings will eliminate uncertainty. Now, one very important thing, there has to be regular drills for such cases. There has to be mock drills for such cases. It is quite important to have such mock drills. It actually prepare people, because what happens is most of the people who lose their life in such accidents, they lose it because they are unaware of what exactly to do and what not to do. And because of such a confusion, we see that people lose their lives. So it is very important that there has to be a provision of conducting drills for offices and multi-story residential buildings. It will definitely eliminate uncertainty and confusion among people on what must be done when the disaster actually strikes. Now, safety helps only those who are better prepared. If you are not prepared, then definitely the chances are definitely going to be very high that you too might suffer of any such accident. So viewers, this was with today's editorial analysis. I hope you liked it. Thank you very much.